When I was in your shoes, I saved $3,124 every month by living what I call a smart broke person. Most people think being rich means spending money on expensive stuff. I think the opposite. Being rich means keeping your money instead of giving it away to companies that don't care about you. In this video, I'm breaking down exactly how I cut $3,124 in monthly expenses without feeling like I'm sacrificing anything and actually feeling more free than when I was spending twice as much. So you can do the same. Now, before I get into all of the specifics on the things that I did personally, the reason why I even got into this mindset to begin with came from one of my favorite follows on the internet, Naval Raicon. If you've read his Rules of Wealth or follow him in any capacity, you will know about this. And he essentially advises to resist the urge to upgrade your life immediately after earning more. Instead, continue to live modestly and use the surplus income to invest in yourself or assets. And that is the trap of lifestyle inflation. As people earn more, they often spend more that matches their income, which leads to a new situation where their lifestyle is now dependent on a new level of income. Naval refers to this as wage slave trap. So by living below your means, even when your income increases, you as the individual retain more freedom, which will allow you to work less, take more risks, pursue different opportunities without the pressure of maintaining a specific income to support a high cost lifestyle. So that was my major takeaway after going through all of his material and why I even got started to begin with. When I was first beginning this journey, I needed to go through that process so I can use that additional money to invest in myself, to take risks at different entrepreneurial ventures and eventually land on my remote cleaning business. And without having gone through that entire lifestyle shift, I would have never gone to where I am today. So while there is a time and place to, treat yourself to nice things and have great experiences, you need to understand where you are. And sometimes in life, you need to make sacrifices for the betterment of your long-term future. So with that, I'm going to go through my own personal checklist of what I went through that helped me save over $3,000 a month in expenses. So the first section I want to go over is housing and lifestyle expenses. So one of the easiest things you can do is just starting to use your apartment gyms over going to a membership. Now, memberships for gyms typically cost around $200, $250 a month if you're going to some of the nicer ones or you live in a big metro. That can easily be a significant savings to you. And using your apartment gym has been something that I've always done for a long period of time. They often have all the essentials that you need. And plus there's so many YouTube videos out there to use the equipment that is already in your gym. What it really comes down to is just having the discipline to do it and realizing you have everything you need. Second thing is within your own housing situation, if you're living in an apartment or house, is the furniture that you supply your entire rooms with. Now, furniture can be an extremely expensive venture if you're buying everything new. So my recommendation is just go to Facebook Marketplace. Everything you have, you can be bought for a fraction of the cost, all used, but still in great condition. Again, why buy furniture when immediately once you buy it, 70% of its value is already gone, which ultimately can save you thousands of dollars just by doing that alone. In addition, having a food strategy is also something you can be saving hundreds of dollars every single month by not eating out. In addition to that, I also meal prepped every single week. So I wouldn't worry about eating out because those obviously would turn into $100, $200 dinners and things like that very, very quickly. You do that once a weekend, that's already $800. And I would just make sure that I always meal prepped before I would do anything. That way I could keep my costs down. I could go to the grocery store. I knew exactly how much I was paying for. And then I would just keep it really, really simple each and every day with healthy foods that were clean at an affordable cost. And on the topic of going out and dining, overall, my lifestyle changed dramatically. I stopped going out. Now, I know a lot of you guys might not be in your early 20s, or you might have a different version of whatever going out is for you, but going out in general, oftentimes is very, very expensive, right? Everything you do costs money, and going out frequently is only going to incur more and more costs. So this period of time, mentally, for me at least, I was hyper focused on my business and removed distractions of going out. And if you're somebody who likes to go out a bunch and have a good time, I would encourage you to go through a period where you stop doing that altogether, and you're going to be saving yourself upwards of $1,000 plus every single month. By the way, if you want to know the best way I found to actually make more money instead of just saving it, there's a video in the description below that breaks down exactly how I did it. Now, another area of saving on a monthly basis has to do with transportation and cars. Now, not every everyone can buy their car outright, and some people might need a lease. So I know everyone's situation is a little bit different. But for me personally, if you have enough money to buy the car when you're going to go buy it used, buy so you don't have to finance it, and you can have a car that you don't have to worry about a monthly lease payment each and every single month. And if you can't buy a car, use public transportation. You're going to want to avoid financing because that is just more overhead to your monthly bill that is unnecessary, especially at this part of your journey. Other transportation related things are like Uber or Waymo or Lyft. Any of those things, absolutely do not do. Those things are extremely expensive. They are premium services, although they are marketed to everyday individuals. They quickly add up to hundreds of dollars a month in transportation expenses when that can either be done by you just driving to the location or using public transportation if you're in an area that has public transportation. I can tell you from my own experience, I would start to drive to places if I was going to go see my friends, right? So I think a lot of times if you're drinking or going out, you oftentimes won't drive. So if you're reducing the amount of drinking, you're reducing the amount of expenses you're spending. You can drive to locations, you have more control over your time. And that's such a level up on your savings per month if you're be able to do those things and go through that period of time. And it makes such a big difference so you don't have to worry about all those expenses that are blindly going out of your wallet. Then there's some other kind of expenses as well. I would call them like more daily expenses or subscriptions. So, during this period of time, I would just cancel all unnecessary subscriptions, Netflix, Hulu, ESPN, Disney, whatever you have. Those are not necessary subscriptions and they have hundreds of dollars to your bill, and there's oftentimes a free alternative anyways. In addition to that, purchasing new clothes or any kind of luxury good, those kinds of things are definitely not necessary when you're trying to save money. I would either buy some sort of budget clothes for the time being or just don't even buy clothes at all. I remember wearing honestly the same set of clothing that I had for about a year, and I never had to buy any clothes. So just refraining the need to buy more clothes is just a hack in and of itself to save hundreds of dollars. In addition to that, personal care products. I know there's basic soaps and premium soaps, and they're charging 5 times the amount for a premium soap. I would just say personal care products also can just be done at the very, very essential level with the basic stuff. They do the same exact thing and they work just fine. And another hack within this whole subscription world is saving on your internet providers, cable providers, insurance providers, any of those kinds of providers that you're paying on an annual basis. I would call my internet provider, cable provider, and within 5 minutes save hundreds of dollars a year. And all you have to do, ask if they've got any competitor matching programs or any downgraded packages that you can move into. And oftentimes they're going to be very accommodating because they want to keep your business even if it's at a lower rate. So those were kind of the things that I did to save on a month-to-month basis. I would say those were contributing for the bulk of the $3,000 plus amount I was saving each month. In addition to that though, at the end of every single month, I audited all my finances. I tracked every dollar, I budgeted like a hawk. And as the saying goes, if you can't measure it, you cannot improve it. So I would export all the information, put it in an Excel sheet, and then categorize line by line. It would take about 10-15 minutes what everything was that I spent for the month, and looked at where were the places for the following month that I can save. And it almost became a game where I would set savings goals and see if I could beat the previous month's savings. So that's how I saved $3,124 per month, living like a smart broke person. The best part is, after a while, I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything. I actually felt more free, just like Naval said, knowing that I'm not wasting money on stuff that really doesn't matter. It is a discipline, not to lifestyle upgrade. Now, saving money is great, but making more money is even better. So if you want to see the business model that I use to generate extra income every single month, there's a video on the screen that will break down exactly how to do it step by step. Until next time.